Okay, here we are. And this is the pool for today. I want you to answer these questions. What will the global workforce, what the people in the whole world will do after the pandemic? Okay, what do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Option A, are people going to be contractors? Option B, are people going to be looking for gig workers? Gig workers meaning, they do a little thing. And we will see that in Fiverr as the most famous website for gig, for a small task. Or will the workforce will work in hygiene? Or the last option is cybersecurity. Okay, so go over to LinkedIn and select your option. What do you think is going to be the future of workforce? What people are going to work on? You can follow us on LinkedIn here, linkedin.com/company/Mondosol. You can also follow us on Instagram, Mondosol, on Facebook, Mondosol, and Twitter on Mondosol. On YouTube, it's slightly different. It's mondosol.co/39UCQHN. Okay, but you can also search for our YouTube channel in Mondosol. It's called the Mondosol, or just type Mondosol on YouTube. You should be able to find our video. We are actually streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook, and Twitter, because right now we're still asking Mr. Gates if he let us be on his platform on LinkedIn that we love so much. And by the way, if you happen to be on YouTube, remember to smash the like button and hit the notification bell. Click subscribe. If you are on Facebook as well, you can be friend, you can like the page, but most of all, make sure other people get to know this great content we are sharing with you today, as well as the other days, before and after. We are doing this ETW Empower Tour Worldwide webinar to come up live on the social media platform to share all the great news that we collected during these days of coronavirus lockdown here from the headquarters of Mondosol in Norway. It's still chill. It's coming up the winter slowly. I don't know, where is the weather where you live? Let me know in the chat where you're from, or in the comment down below this video, or on the right side, depending if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. And, I want to know also, what do you think about the future? What type of job people will do? What will you do? What type of job will you do? And today we're going to talk about it. There is the poll. There is an article that I found on LinkedIn. Very, very interesting. So, like I said, go over to Mondosol. And now we are streaming live from YouTube as well as Facebook and Twitter. But you can also see from our website, mondosol.com/ETW, Empower Tour Worldwide. And I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to join the workforce of Mondosol. What is the future of the workforce? Well, it can be Mondosol. You can be a Mondosolian, so you can join the forces. So you can sell our courses with mondosol.leaddino.com, mondosol.leaddino.com. That's our affiliate program. You can become an affiliate/ambassador of the company. What does it mean? It means that you will basically write about the company, the products, the services. You will join the company, you will work for the company, you will maybe do some of the courses of the company, and you can do product reviews, and you can share, the love that you have for education, the love to learn with other people. Because like I said many times, and Denzel Washington mentioned it, each one teach one, okay? You need to pay forward right now. If you're listening live or recorded, you need to share this content with other people, because that can change and transform people's life. I think it's extremely important to understand in today's moment, circumstances are changing so rapidly. Technology is moving so fast. That's why in the stock market, technologies are called the growth stocks. They are the company that they are growing the most during this pandemic. And actually, I'm going to do my own prediction. And I think, and I was just saying with my wife, the co-founder, Lynn, that if the past 10 years, the past decade, from 2010, when it was the crisis, the big crisis that hit the real estate market, as well as the banking system, then the last decade, 2010, 2020, was about sharing economy, okay? While people were losing their homes and they didn't have much more to rely on, so they started to rent out. And what they had, it was their place. They were renting out. So what they thought it was okay. Why don't we share what we are renting? Maybe just a couch or a spare room, okay? And that's where Airbnb couch surfing culture came out, and it got so popular that in those 10 years Airbnb was about to go to Wall Street. I think they delayed, and the company, from what they have been called cockroach by the first investors, they became like a unicorn, you know, this fantastic $30 billion company evaluation before the pandemic. I think now it's much less. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you are on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter, please comment in the chat. I will share your comment live. And also, let me know where you're from and what are you looking for. And most of all, you know, go over to LinkedIn. You know, I share in the very beginning, there is a company page for Mondosol. And now we have created an event for the Empower Tour Worldwide. And inside today's event, we put a poll. What do you think is going to be the future of the workplace? Okay, you can see here. So follow us on LinkedIn. Go over to LinkedIn. We have over 1,000 people. The page is growing so rapidly also because we are hiring. We are hiring maybe you. We have so many job positions that we keep opening. So go over to mondosol.com/career. Let me share that with you as well. I want to show you. So this is mondosol.com/ETW. And here you can see we are live on YouTube, Facebook, on the page, and on the personal, my personal profile. But like I wanted to show you, if you go over to mondosol.com and you go in the footer, I showed you my foot before. So it means in the bottom of the site, click on careers. And then from here, you can see that on the career page, we're basically looking for people. You can see now and discover roles. If you click, you go over to our ATS, they call it. It's a fancy acronym. I mean, I don't know what it stands for, but it's the software we're using to hire you, maybe. So we are looking for web developers. We are looking for mentors, people who can teach. We're looking for accounting, for sales, and don't be confused by the location of those jobs. We decided to recruit in Slovakia and Bratislava because apparently, according to Google, the best web developers in the whole world are in Slovakia. And that doesn't mean you cannot be in India or Pakistan. I was just interviewing one accountant from India. So all the positions are remote. At the moment, we are very applying to the circumstances. So you don't need to be in a specific location. You can be anywhere in the world as long as you can work. And when I say, you know, like what is going to be the future? Well, if the future is going to be more contractors and less employees and more giggy workers, that means you need to have, you know, a good internet connection. So, for example, Fiverr is the gig economy, as well as TaskRabbit, and there are so many others. But you need to have a good internet connection so that you, for example, can work as a freelancer, and then you can screen share or you can have a video call. That's important when you want to work in distance, okay? You are one place and your employer, your company is in another place. You need to have a good internet connection. I keep saying to the people looking for a job in Mondosol, is extremely important because when I'm having an interview, then it's very difficult if the connection doesn't allow a good internet speed. And I would suggest you to go over to speedtest.net and to run your speed test, okay? So speedtest.net, then you click go, and then you can check it out. What is your speed, your internet connection? And best is if with cable, not Wi-Fi, and with a laptop or desktop, not a mobile, okay? If you're gonna be, you know, a freelancer, okay? Freelancer in different type of skills. Now we will see the top skills from Upwork. Well, you need to have a good internet connection, especially if you want to work with videos and graphics that very heavy, takes a lot of internet connection to upload as well as to download. So then you need to have a good internet connection. So talk with your provider. You can see my connection is very good. It's a fiber connection from Altibox. That's our internet provider. And it shouldn't go lower than 5 in download and 5 in upload. Otherwise, you will start to have a problem. The connection will, you know, switch off. If you are talking with someone from distance, you will have problem to work. It will be super slow. I understand in developing country, internet is more difficult. Anyway, let's look at the in-demand talent. What people are looking, companies are looking for, what type of talents, what type of skills do you need? So this is Upwork.com. We saw also Fiverr.com, and I want to show you. This is basically for both people looking for a job, people looking for someone to work. And here, you can find as a company, talent or agency in different sectors, okay? But I want to show if you're looking for a job, because today topic, I'm going to go back to this. What will the global workforce look like? Please join the pool right now. Go over to mondosol.com and then look for ETW webinar 300920 and then answer the pool. It's still live. And at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you something. Okay. So with that being said, the in-demand or the high skills in Upwork, if you want to check it up, it's down the website on the homepage, and you can see top skills require. It's for people making apps on Android or customer service, front-end developer. This is Apple, Android and iOS, those both, as well as the one under. It's for people making apps. So they're very required people making apps today. People are using mobile. And then also sales. Sales is extremely important. If you're not making sales, you're not surviving as a company, but as well as an individual. You need to sell yourself. Then you have software engineer, virtual assistants, and so on. Bookkeeper, like I said, we're looking for it. And you have all this technical skill, PHP, SEO, Java. I'm not going to go into details, but you get the picture. Go over to Upwork, create your profile as a professional or an agency, or start to look for those talents if you have a company. Right now, I was listening yesterday. I was in a Rotary Club. Let me tell you this story because I think it's very interesting. You understand this. I was in a Rotary Club meeting. Rotary Club, it's a non-profit organization. I think it's very middle class, and they really like to share about culture, music, literature, and travel. And also they do a lot of charity and they help people. So with that being said, I was listening very much what one of the member of the Rotary Club that invited me there, which is also the manager of the Chamber of Commerce where I live, where I actually created the company. I did a startup course. We went into a startup incubator. His name is Vine, and he's a good friend of mine now. And he was telling me that, for example, the local newspaper used to hire 100 people. Now it's less than 10. And that's because they are outsourcing like crazy. So they are looking, maybe website like Upwork and Fiverr and others, out to find, a freelancer who can write, a freelancer who can do graphic design or web designing, And so that's today's world, and you need to just adapt. That's the way that it is. So I think, I will be very interested to know what you think about this. What's going to be the future ahead of you? And what do you think is going to be the most common job in the next future in this pandemic situation? Because people are home, people have lost the job, have lost the income, and I was going to tell you my prediction. So the past decade, it was about sharing your homes, sharing your couch, sharing your room, sharing your car, because together with Airbnb, it also came out Uber and then Lyft, and together with Airbnb, it was also VRBO, and Mondosol, for example, was into this a trend because we are an educational company. So what we do is basically we help people to learn. We started by teaching languages back in 2008, and if you want to learn, yesterday there was a very kind old lady that she welcomed me in Italian because I'm Italian. And she then, at the end of the Rotary Club meeting, she told me that she's doing online lesson with the Scuola d'Italiano in Oslo. So I was very pleased that she was speaking to me in Italian, and then she told me that. Well, if you're looking for online lesson and courses about languages, we started with that. That's like our core business or our biggest experience. As many of my friends noticed, I didn't know a squat about English. I was a terrible student in school in general, and definitely for English lesson. My teacher used to grab me by the ear and pull me close to her. I was sitting down in the bottom of the class, and she brought me very next to her, sitting next to her. And I was remember even there I was making a lot of fun. Back in the days, I used to be the jeweler of the class. I love to make fun and enjoy my time in school like that. Then I find out there was other way to use my energy, and that's why I'm here sharing all my knowledge, everything I learned. Because as a matter of fact, the contradiction of life, that sometimes the stealer can become a policeman, the bad students can become a good teacher, and so on, so on. So I was going to say to you, my prediction for the future is this, and I don't know what you think about it. I would really like to know on the comments or in the chat right now, but please let me know what you think about this prediction. So I think if the past 10 years, it was about sharing economy. So like I said, share your home, share your car, share your time, share whatever you had to share. I think the future 10 years, the next decade will be exactly the opposite. So private economy. So you don't share anything. You don't share your workspace. You don't share your home. You don't share your time. You don't share, the space in a restaurant or in a car, in a taxi. It will very much be private economy. And that's why I see e-commerce is booming. Why? Because people are buying everything they need to survive during this crisis in their private home by themselves or with their very close ones. And I see this actually in Norway or in Scandinavia as maybe ingrained in the culture, that people are very self-reliable, independent. They live in their home with their garden, with their small family. And they used to be this small, community, very small, very close. And they are very self-sufficient. Some of them, they make their own homes. Some of them, they fix their own car. Some of them, most of them, they make their own food. It's not much of going out. So I predict that the next 10 years, because of how the economy is going, I don't think it was just the virus, as well as the 2010. It wasn't just a real estate crisis. It was very much about a huge shift into the world economy. So 2010 basically put down all the middle class owning properties into, the poor class, and the rich people going over into the market, into the bank system, because the bank collected all these houses from middle class that they lost their job or they didn't have a steady income, so they couldn't pay mortgages. The bank collect all those properties and then ask very rich and wealthy people to take over those property and start to rent them out. And so that's what happened. More and more people lost their ownership of the homes and they started to be renters. Okay. And that's why you can hear a lot about, and we've been talking about how to get rental properties, and how even you, if you don't have the money, maybe you can find an investor that can help you to find rental properties, because more and more properties will be put into rent and more people will lose their ownership to the home. I can see young people, they cannot afford to buy homes, as well as old people nowadays, they are thinking about selling. I think they call it the nude property. So they live into the property, and when they die, they basically give it to the seller. So more and more people are sliding down into the poverty level, okay, into this pyramid vertical society. I am very lucky to live in Scandinavia because it's one of the few horizontal society. So the wealth is more distributed. The government is very much helping, creating this welfare system where everybody can survive, and it's easier maybe to access credit from banks and to get ownership of the home. But even here, prices of the real estate is very, very high. It's to the roof, as well as many other countries. So young people have problem to, buy a house, so they are renting. And that's what I wanted to say, So I believe if this is the trend from 2010, and then it's continuing in 2020. So what's happening is now people, again, the middle class, have lost their jobs, okay? That's what happened because of the pandemic. Company had to shut down, just for a small period of time, but as well for very long. Many companies, they haven't opened yet, and they will not open. So massive layoff, massive firemen and unemployment. When I say massive, I'm talking about even more than 1920, the Big Depression and the First World War, and after the Second World War. We're talking about 30, 40, 50, 60 millions unemployment records in United States, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, in South America. So a lot of people home because of this virus. And then what's happening is that the economy is not now, surging again. And that's kind of a problem, because all these people unemployed, what are they going to do? What's going to be the next job? Like I said, I'm lucky enough to live in Scandinavia, where the economy didn't lock down completely, didn't shut down. So also restarted quite quickly after 2 weeks. And now in the summer, while a lot of new cases and the second wave is about to come in the autumn, winter, Norway was lucky enough to limit this pandemic. But still, we are living this economy where a lot of people are laid off, they're leaving home, they don't know what to do. And then the future ahead of us, it's bringing technology, substituting human labor. So if we take transportation, for example, they say that in 2021, they will put trucks, self-driving into the street. So this is concrete. I've been talking with my family, and they say, no, it's crazy. It's not going to happen. That people are inside cars without drivers. And, these self-driving cars like a taxi. No, it's not going to happen. People want to use a taxi with a real person. What's happening is that some of my family that is a taxi driver, he now lost most of the job because of this pandemic. And, many into transportation now are affected by both the pandemic and the technology. Yes, if you are in logistics and you work for e-commerce company like Amazon, no, then you have a job. Like, for example, I have someone in my family is working for the banking system that they are conglomerating. A lot of banks are purchasing other small banks, so they need to change the inside of the banks. They need to restructure the banking. I see here in Norway, for example, the banking system is preparing for major layoff, major firing, because they are also bringing a lot of technology inside the banking. They are substituting the clerk, the blue collar, the people working in the desk with computer and apps, so that people don't need to go to the physical bank and they can just operate from their phone. So many thousands and thousands of those people working in banking, they will be laid off. And banking also will change their space, okay? Because people will not need all the space used by the bank before. So it's a lot of changes happening right now. And like I said, 2010, 2020, first crisis, 2010 for real estate, following with the bank crisis, and then, major layoff, unemployment records, and economic crisis lasting for 2-3 years. And then it started to climb back, sharing economy, people sharing everything they could share. That's what they had. So they share what they had. And now 2020, what's happening right now, it's a little bit different. So because of the pandemic, so a health crisis, people had to stay home. The government imposed a lockdown. They said you cannot go to work and you cannot even go outside in some cases. You have to stay inside. So they force you to stay home. They force you to change your habits. And so the companies as well, they had been forced to shut down. A lot of companies who had a health issue, then they had to shut down. For example, hospitality and Airbnb and all the travel industry, they have been affected by this. People couldn't travel because the virus was traveling with them. And to not infect, massive amount of people in the population of different countries, they decided, okay, let's keep people shut in the house for a period of time until the contagious level goes down. They say 1 on, I don't know, I don't remember. The ratio, it's 1 on 100,000 or something like that. But anyway, to keep the hospital functioning, okay, to not have crazy a lot of people with a respiratory problem. That's the virus. What's causing is that people need then the respirator, they need to be reanimated, and they can die. So in order to avoid that, especially the whole population, we're gonna massively die. Right now, I think they hit 1 million deaths in the whole world. So to avoid even worse than this, like with the the other pandemic happening before in human history. So to avoid that, they said, okay, everybody home, everybody stay home, and then let's close public events, let's close borders, let's not people traveling again, or very limiting, maybe just take a day trip, stay close, then stay in contact with people that that they're not sick. And in schools, they shut down schools, they shut down all public places where people were hanging. So the sharing economy is now the private economy. So now, like myself, I'm live from my home office, from the headquarters of Mondosol. And so probably you are watching as well from your home, with your phone, with your computer. So it's very much what the trend as well was coming from social media, what they call the me society. So a lot of personal branding, during the past 5-10 years, a lot of people coming up with their names like Ty Lopez and so many others, Stephen Graham, Stephen James, all these people coming up with their personal brand, and they are creating their small or medium or large empire. New middle class is coming up, while the trend is actually, to put down most of the middle class to the poor class. So with that being said, what can you do? What can you do right now? What's going to be your future? What's going to be your job? So let's go back to what I was showing you before. I think it's very interesting. You understand this is the present as well as the future, okay? This is called freelancing, okay? So Upwork is the leader platform to find professionals and talent agency, okay? People that are working from home and people who can work with distance remotely. They don't need to actually go into a company, and they are independent. They are freelancing. So the company and the individual don't need to engage in, what do they call it? This relationship like an employer and employee. I don't remember the word, but you understand. There is no straight connection between the employee and the employer, the one giving the job and the one offering the job. And as well with that, as you can probably understand, then there are no implications, there are no rights. For example, you don't have maternity if you're a woman, you don't have holidays, you don't have sick pays. And that's probably what the richest, wealthiest people in the world were going towards. Always been like this. I remember my father, he's a trade union leader, and he was telling me how they had to fight until he went to hospital to get all those rights, the sick pays, the holiday pays, and the 13 months to pay for the holiday, all those rights they had to fight in the 70s, the human rights, the social rights, the working class rights, and all of them, it's gone with this basically, because you are on your own, you're a freelancer, you have to pay your own taxes, and if you're sick, you don't get paid, so you need to have saving, and that's how it's going. I'm afraid, I've been in this industry now for very long, more than a decade. So I know I'm refreshing this page. I want to see if you, as well as someone else, has joined the pool. So go over to LinkedIn, find out. We have this ETW webinar on today, 30th of September 2020. And then there is this pool. And I would really like you to answer, what do you think is the future of the global workforce? Where do you think people are going to work? And so I'm showing you here a contractor, which is, the first option. And I would say Upwork as a contractor. Maybe you will be a contractor. You will find contractors. Basically, it's freelancing. And then you have second option is the gig workers. And the gig is slightly different from freelancer. They also say find the perfect freelance, because I think Fiverr is also switching over to Upwork. And so Fiverr came out as the gig economy. What's the gig? Actually, what does it mean, Fiverr? It means $5, $5. So before, people could offer services, anything they wanted for $5. That was the whole thing with Fiverr, $5. And so people could say, okay, I can do voiceover for you for $5. I can write in WordPress, which is a blogging system, for $5. I can create a logo for $5. I can do a video explainer. I can do social media for $5. Now they have gig, they call it, for $10, $20, $50, $100 and more, okay? So right now Fiverr is expanding, and it's more going towards Upwork, which is the leading platform for freelancing. And here it's more like you contract someone. Here is more, okay, you have an employee that is not dependent from you, it's not your employee. It's like independent contractor, okay? We can call it like this. Someone not working directly with your company, but it's still working for your company. Okay, and this is the two options. Then the third one is hygiene, and I wanted to show you that right now with LinkedIn Learning and EDX, you can learn a ton about, you know, both hygiene and the last one, which is cybersecurity. I wanted to show you more. Hygiene is a professional course you can take with LinkedIn, and with cybersecurity, you can also take a micro bachelor, a master, and a micro master, or professional courses. And all this, I just want to tell you, this is the career page of Mondosol. We are hiring, so you can look for a job right now in Mondosol. But what I wanted to show you is that actually in Mondosol, we have a package for you. You don't need to, you know, go in LinkedIn or in EDX, because what we are offering right now is something unique and special. So we have 3 packages designed for people just like you and me. So you can basically decide to learn, and you can have, you know, option A, the academy, option B, the business, and option C, the college. Each one is designed for different purposes. The academy is basically the option where you can have access to Mondosol Academy. So the courses that we have right now, it's limited, and we will also offer you basically, together with the access to the content, world-class content, the engaging learning experience. So you will have access to a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, and you will have a robust learning platform powered by Moodle. Then you will have 1 year lifetime access on mobile and TV, and then certificate of completion. This, it's backed by support. You will basically have a mentor, and that's why we're looking for mentors, that is teaching you or is helping you to learn while you're going through the courses. It's not self-study like you would do in EDX and LinkedIn. This is basically more like mentorship. We are going to help you to go through each and every course, keep you motivated and up to the task. You will complete faster whatever you want to do. So if you're looking more for the business package, obviously this one is like partnering with LinkedIn will offer you 16,000 courses. So you don't need to pick one, but you can basically decide to go for one and then another one. If that one is not good, you can choose another one. Okay. We have this partnership together with LinkedIn. And so you can pick and choose whatever you want. But like before, yes, you have the content, you have the certificate, you have the access for 1 year, you can watch it on your phone, everything, you know, pretty much the same. But what I want to stress out is that you will have a mentorship hours. So in the academy, it will be 1 hour one-on-one or 10 hours one-on-10. What does it mean? That you can have 1 hour with your mentor, so you and the mentor, one-on-one, so just private lesson, or you can have 10 people joining together with you, so 9 plus you and your teacher. So you will have 1 hour if it's private, or up to 10 hours if it's public, let's say, if you are sharing your mentors with others. And with that being said, it's nothing compared to what you would do in a business course. If you go to a course yesterday, like I said, I was in the Rotary Club. There were, I think, 15 people in this room of the hotel. And so you can forget about it, you know, more than 10 people. It's not going to be this crowded room like in a university or in a public place, but it's going to be from the comfort of your home with your phone. It's going to be with the technologies offered today. You know, I can mention Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, Facebook Messenger. You know, there are different technology that we use to reach out to you wherever you are. And so you will have someone who will push you to complete the course, and then you can have the certificate both from Mondosol and the partner that we have, in this case, LinkedIn. But we also have a special package that is college, and then it's designed, you know, to go over the certificate, professional certificate, and to get something closer to university level. So we have partnered with EDX, and I'm keep talking by email with my, I can say friend, or, you know, the representative of EDX, Steven, you know, and yes, we will give you access to EDX. So you can basically choose whatever course you want to do, if it's a course, or even if it's, you know, a micro bachelor or a micro master or even a master. And so you can become an expert in cybersecurity. You can take your certificate, which is professional certificate, or even, like I said, a master degree, okay, or a micro bachelor, so that you can continue in university. You will get points, okay? And basically, when you join Mondosol and you pay for one of the package, if it in this case is college, then you basically have access to those courses. It's going to be limited. You're not going to have unlimited access, but you can choose from all the courses they have. It's 2,800. I think Steven told me it's 3,000 right now, as well as LinkedIn. It's more than 16,000. So with that being said, you know, you will have your mentor. You will have certificates given you by the top university in the whole world, and you can show them on LinkedIn or show them on your freelancing profile on, Upwork or Fiverr, and you can put it on your CV, on your Word CV. So everything is going to show up for you, and you're going to speed up the process for you to get a job. So with that being said, you know, I'm going to switch over. This has gone far over what I was thinking. I have to eat. I have job interviews I have to conduct, and also I have to do my bookkeeping. But I hope you have learned as much as I wanted you to learn. Go to Mondosol, select your course, and then, you know, be always one of these attendees of those Empower webinar we're doing each day. You know, apart from Saturday, every day of the week, we're coming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and you should share with other people, so each one teach one, and more people can actually get to know those information that I collected and I heard from many other people. I watched ton of video, I keep learning, and I share this with you for free. You can actually do a donation if you want to. There is the Eventbrite platform that we're using for ticketing. It's not mandatory, and you can donate what you want so that we can keep investing in this Empower Tour worldwide, to give you the power of knowledge, you know, to inspire you. And also, whenever we can, as you can see behind me, to give you this travel feeling, because we love traveling, and we hope that travel will be available soon. You know, I had to postpone my trips to Italy twice, and 3 times actually, because now it's going to be not recommended to travel from Norway to any countries in Europe until 15th of January. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember to smash the like button, comment and share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And the gift I wanted to give you is this. Go over to shop.mondosol.com, register, get $10, and I buy you whatever you want. For $10, I buy you whatever you want, and I send it to your home. You don't need to go and collect it anywhere. It will come to you directly on your mailbox, or maybe you have to go to the post office. I don't know. Sometimes the carrier is calling and he's asking you, are you there? So he's delivering right to you. Or sometimes you have to go to the post office, depending where you live. And not every country is available for shipping. So you will have to check this out. But normally, most of the countries are. So thank you very much for watching. And